This episode of Beyond the Closing is brought to you by First United Land Transfer.
Hello everybody, George Lair here with First United Land Transfer and Home Close USA, and today is such a pleasure to have both Lily with a Y and Galina. Ladies, how are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm great. You know, this is such a great experience for me because I've never actually had an interview with two people, right? It's usually one-to-one, and now I have to actually look both ways. So this is great. But I'm so honored to have you here. You guys are besties.
Yes, and we're very happy to be here.
Yes,
thank you for
we're
having
really
us.
excited. So thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
So, you know, I met you almost a year ago.
Yeah.
You were just starting out. I met you at an Iron Pigs game.
Yes.
Right? But I talked to you prior to that.
Yes.
Because the game was postponed and you were supposed to, and everything got confused.
Yeah.
And here you are. You've actually been in real estate it's been a year and 6 months now?
Yeah.
That's great.
I know. Thank you.
Right? And you've been in real estate as well.
Yeah.
Now, how long has it been?
For just about half a year. Yeah, at the
love
beginning
that.
of this year started out.
But you two have met
Yes.
working for EXP.
Yes.
Yes.
You work for the Allegheny team.
Yes.
And you both actually became bestest of friends.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so what got you into real estate? Well, Galina, let's start with you, since you're more seasoned in this.
Yeah. So what got me into real estate? Well, I always had a passion for helping people.
Uh-huh.
And I love being self-driven and being more of an entrepreneur. I got my degree in accounting from East Stroudsburg University, and I decided to just make the switch and do real estate. So I was a junior in college, and I decided to study real estate and get into that schooling. And then I got my license, and I forever started doing real estate, and I found my team, the Eric Unique team.
I love that.
And-
but before that, you actually went to Saucon Valley High School.
I did.
So you're local.
Yes, yes, I am
You're a local celebrity.
Yes, oh, thank you.
I love
I
it.
did go graduate from Saucon Valley High School.
Mhm.
So I am local to the Lehigh Valley, which is great. So I know a lot of the areas, and I know a lot of the market, which helps with my clients and getting them into a home.
I like that a lot.
Thank you.
And then Lily, now you're not local. You're actually a rival. You're from East. Well, no, you went to school in Phillipsburg.
Yes, I did. I
So-
grew up right over the river. Yeah, that's where I lived the majority of my life. I actually moved to this area, Easton, Pennsylvania, when I was 19 years old, and I've been here ever since. Yeah, I love the area.
I love it.
Yep.
So you went to school this entire time. You're actually a rival to Easton, and
I
all of a
was.
sudden you graduate high school, and now you're actually.
Now I jumped right across the river.
that is great. And
Yep.
you know, Easton to me is a great area because there's so much to do. There's so many great restaurants.
Yep.
There's so much art, and you know, I actually try to make it into the Easton area at least once or twice a month, just to actually take advantage of all the great things, the market, the festivals that they constantly hold, you know, the tree lighting ceremony. It's a great place to actually.
Oh yeah, very family oriented as well, which I love about the
You
area.
have colleges, you have restaurants, you have, name it, the State Theater is actually over there, so a lot to do. And you
Yeah.
live in Easton as
I
well.
do live in Easton. Me and Lily only live 2 minutes away from each other. So
Isn't that awesome?
Yep,
yeah,
just a short
we like
drive.
to go over each other's houses and like collaborate on marketing material for real estate and not generally just talking about how we can help our clients
I love
get
that.
into a home. And we like to collaborate with each other and use each other's minds to
Yep.
do what's absolutely best for our clients.
So Lily, what got you into real estate?
Yeah, so basically it's something I've always had in the back of my mind. I've always had an interest, but ever since I got out of high school, I've always been working with children, and I
Wow.
always had in my mind I wanted to be working a job that could be flexible, with children, that would then allow me when the time came to be able to have that time and that flexibility with my own family when I planned to grow that. And then one day, this was maybe just the end of last year, I had a moment. Just something sparked my interest again, and within that same week, I had signed myself up for classes online. I had spoken to some people that I knew were in real estate, and I I took the leap, and I still love. I at the time was working as the full-time nanny, and I still love very much working with children, and I still include that in my life right now. But yeah, and then ever since I started that first class, it's just been a great passion of mine that I've just gone full force
That is such
into.
a blessing to many, right?
Mm-hmm.
To have somebody who's as patient and caring as you, watch some of their children, and for you to have such great passions.
Yeah, for sure.
That real estate, both of you,
Oh, thank you.
and it
Yes.
shows. I
Thank
see
you.
both of you in action, and I see the way that your clients actually interact with you and the feedback that they actually give back. But one of the things that makes you both so special in this is the fact that you're starting out at such a young age, and you're now the new role models to those who are actually coming into this game of real estate.
Yeah.
So, how are you finding this this market right now, as far as being able to get homes and put homes in your clients, and who's your clientele? Do you normally go for people who are just coming out from college, or?
I get a lot of first-time homebuyer clients,
Great.
which I love working with them because that's when you can nurture them and like just guide them fully through the process and provide that utmost value with a transaction and helping them through every single step and just putting them at ease. So I enjoy working with first-time homebuyers because they're just happy that they're able to get into a home, and they're just ecstatic when I can say we're under agreement and we're about to start that process of being under agreement and with those 30 days.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's so special. Working with I have a wonderful family I'm working with right now that are first-time home buyers, and every single time I meet them at a house, it's two little kids that they have, and they're just such a joy. And I had a showing with them this past weekend, and they brought me such a sweet gift, and they had remembered such special things about me, and it just that really just brings it all back to how important that this is. It's not just a job and an income for us. It's about building lifelong relationships with people and really helping provide the best guidance and support for people in this big journey and this very great journey that they're walking into.
I love that. And one thing that I do admire about both of you is your ability to actually capture people's attention by remembering the little things about them, right? So I see the way that you approach people, Galina.
Yeah.
And you
Thank
remember transactions or people or names, where I find it a little bit different now, to actually remember names. Both of you usually remember not just the names, but the faces and, the times where you've actually met these people. And I think that that's a great way to actually help people come feel a lot more at ease.
Yeah.
Right, when you know or remember stuff about them.
Yeah, I agree.
It's pretty awesome.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
So, Lily, just recently, you have actually, not only are you a real estate agent, a young real estate agent, you've also gone through the entire process of buying a house yourself.
I have actually, and my husband and I have been in our home for a little over 2 years now, and this was way back before I was even had that thought in my mind that this might be an area that I look to get into. But I can remember the agent that I was working that my husband and I were working with. He put us so at ease, and he throughout the whole entire process, the way he explained things, just the way he kept us calm and motivated, and really was there through every single step. That's exactly how I want to portray myself now. And I will say that agent became a very good lifelong friend to us, and that is what I hope to do as well for the people that I work with. And it's very special to be a homeowner, and to be able to get the keys to your first home and walk in with your family and just say that this is yours and you can make it your own, and this is where whether it be your starter home or your forever home, however you make it, it's yours. And it's just such a special experience to have, and that is what I love to see with anybody that I work with. It's just fantastic.
That's beautiful. That's a
Yeah.
beautiful story. And, I hope that this actually inspires a lot of other people who are buying the house for the very first time.
Mm-hmm.
And you yourself are so engaging too
Yes.
when it comes to your clients. Tell me about your most memorable, and I'm sure you've had a lot of experiences, but your most memorable experience in real estate.
Yes. Okay. So I had this married couple, and we lost a lot of houses to cash deals. And I was strategizing on how I can make our offers stronger, meaning working through an appraisal gap and explaining these larger terms to this client and making up an escalation clause and just finding a different way to approach the offer. And when I saw this house that hit the market and it was sitting for a little while, I said, let's go back and see it again and let's see how we feel about it. And that's what we did. We went back and we decided to write an offer and it got accepted. We had to do a little bit of negotiating with the price, but the other side, that listing agent was great and understood. And I said, let's make a deal happen. And that's what we did. And it was a blessing. It was working with that client. They were so happy that we went on the phone. They were crying, just so blessed to be able to move into their first home. Because they were renting in New York City. So they moved down to Bethlehem, and it was a really neat experience. And we actually closed with First United, and they loved the office. So it was a
That's
great
such a beautiful
experience.
story.
Thank you.
And that, you know what, I'm sure they'll forever be grateful of the fact that I'm originally from New York City. I'm originally from the Dominican Republic. I moved to New York City when we were younger, and I know that rents even then don't compare to being an actual homeowner now. So, which is great for a lot of the New Yorkers and people who are actually coming from bigger cities to move to such an amazing town like Bethlehem, like Easton, the Allentown, the ABE area in general, and surrounding areas. I think are such amazing places to live in, but I'm biased, right? Because I grew up here, I love it here, and I don't think that there are many places that have such all four seasons and have so much beauty and so much to do. There are so many big cities around us that we could actually go to if we need to ever escape, and we're not too far from the beach, which is nice. So
Yes, very true.
now, after high school,
Yes.
you decided to actually you work as a nanny,
Yes, I did.
and you actually had how many kids that you took care of?
I had 2 little boys. When I first started, it was just the oldest boy, who is a little over 3 now. He's actually almost 4. He was just turning 1, and I started with him. A wonderful, wonderful family that I stay in touch with, and I FaceTime my boys every other week if I can now, just because they're like the lights of my life. They're fantastic. But yeah, and then they ended up having another little boy.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're fantastic. I worked with them for just about almost 3 years, and I just finished out that job that was so much more than a job to me. I mean, their family. They came to my wedding, and we try to talk every week or every other week now to stay in touch, and yeah, so it was bittersweet, but they knew and they are very supportive of me and my new endeavors in real estate. I still do actually work part-time as a caregiver with an elderly woman that I meet with every day, and she is fantastic as well. I'm so blessed to have everybody in my life that I do, because it's really true. If you surround yourself with people that are just like-minded, and they will help guide you and support you, and it's just fantastic, because it's just great people that you're so lucky to have in your life. Yeah, and that's what I do.
I love that. So let me ask you both. If there was a friend of yours that's actually just getting out of college, somebody that you know is going to be getting out of college soon, and they're going to be getting a job, whether it's nursing, whatever the field, right? And you need to talk to them about buying a home, what would you say to them?
Okay, so my first initial conversation will be we need to make sure we have the funds to afford a home, because it's a pretty price with buying a home. But we'll set up a plan on getting them to make sure they have the funds to buy a home, and then I'll be setting them up with a lender, a reputable local lender that knows the Lehigh Valley market, and guiding them through that process with receiving a mortgage and getting that pre-approval process going.
How would you get them ready for that pre-approval?
Well, like again, I will set them up with like a local lender. We work closely with this lender called Andrew Keller, and he's
like
really
Andrew.
good. Yes, me too. And he really is passionate about his job, and he will adamantly talk with the client about every single step on how to get lended, and what type of paperwork they need, and what type of like W-2s and type of bank statements they need to start that process of getting pre-approved.
I like that. I like that. So would you recommend that they actually rent for a while, or would you actually recommend on just getting them ready?
I would
Why?
recommend getting them ready.
Good.
If that means you have to live at home for a couple more months to save up that income,
Nice.
I think that's the best bet to do, because home owning is a huge asset in your life. It's one of the biggest expenses you're going to make in your life, and having something you own is really important as well. So
I agree.
working them through that process and just encouraging them every single time we speak that this is possible and this is a goal, and we can make it happen.
I love that.
Yeah, and I fully agree. Again, it's an investment for people. It's not just buying a home, and like you have that home then as an asset. And again, when you're just starting out and you're young, I say just start somewhere. Start talking with an agent. We're very knowledgeable on where to start. When you're in the very beginning of the process, I would say just start somewhere. And even if you go through paperwork, you go through numbers, and you're not maybe prepared right at that moment, that is okay. If you need to repair your credit, if you need to prepare yourself in other ways, we are there to help you and help you connect with local lenders. We have some great ones. As Galina mentioned, we also have a great lender that we work with from Cross Country Mortgage, Richard Colazzo. He's fantastic as well, and we are on the phone with them almost
Agreed.
every other day. And so we are going to be there as long as you just start somewhere. We are right there with you. Yep.
Very nice. Do you have any other advice that you would give somebody who's actually starting to look at the process of buying a house as a young candidate?
Yeah, I would say it's very possible. I would say just have a good mindset about it. Talk to others who are potentially in the same position as you, or family members or friends that have recently purchased, just to get some other, stories of how things have gone. And again, find a great agent to work with, find a great lender to work with. So you're not just Googling questions. You can actually have somebody that you can call up or even text or email, just simple questions. And again, like we're more than happy to answer any questions to get people prepared. Even if they're not ready right in that moment or right in that month, we will be right alongside you 6 months to a year later when you're ready.
So what are one or two questions that someone who's actually looking to work with an agent should ask that agent as they're interviewing you?
I get some questions asked. I get a question, how long have you been in real estate? Which is very, it depends, because you can go through a lot of scenarios in that period of time. And I get that question, and I get a lot of clients who just want to make sure you can communicate with them. And having that open communication at all times is very important. And I have my phone on me all times. I said, feel free to call me, email me, message me with any questions or concerns, because I will gladly help you through the process.
And I could attest to that, you both being very good communicators and very easy to actually engage in conversation, and both very knowledgeable. And for as young as you are in the real estate business, you know a lot about the business itself. So I know that you both spend a lot of times going back and forth with one another. So how do you get yourselves ready for a client? So let's just say they come to you and they're ready to put an offer. You have They've already been pre-approved, right? So what's the next step for both of you when you're meeting them for the very first time?
Yeah, so for the very first initial meeting is really just whether we've had a conversation on the phone before, it's just really get to know them and they get to know me so that they're comfortable and as well then I'm comfortable, and then we just have the flow of conversation and we see homes and they know that they can trust me with what I'm saying to them, and I know that they're being completely open and honest with me about their situation and what they're looking for, and I think just that open line of communication is very, very important. And once we find that house, you can pretty much always tell with your clients when they are walking around a house if they're leaning more towards, yes, this one is looking very nice to us, or maybe not so much. You can usually always tell. So we walk through the house, and then after we give them a moment, take a breather, and then we can go into actually talking business a bit. And then I let them know I'm gonna go home and run some numbers for you, and we'll get you on track and we'll get this offer out for you. But you keep them involved in every step of that, that process. Yeah. Before you're getting ready to write that offer, you talk things over with them. You go through numbers with them. You want to be very transparent because this is very important. They want to know from you that you're letting them know everything that could potentially come up so that they're prepared. And they see that and they appreciate that. And once you send them that message, the offer is sent out, the offer is submitted. I'll let you know as soon as I hear something. It's a great feeling, all around, and you hope for the very best.
Yeah.
Yep.
I definitely agree with Lily. I like to hit on some key points, like talking about what a home inspection is, back to that appraisal gap, escalation clause, because this market is very tough right now. So we have to be strategic about what we write in an offer. I like to mention what transfer tax is, if we can do the full 2% transfer tax with the state of PA. I like to offer different statements on page 14 of the agreement of sale. If we can make up a clear CO, certificate of occupancy here in Allentown City, we have to offer that. And just fully explaining terms, because if you don't understand the base value of what a term is, they're going to be overwhelmed. So I like to fully, as many times as I have to, explain what different terminology is in the real estate world, and just making them fully comfortable with those terms. And then I like to say, hey, here's the offer. It's sent over for signatures, but if you need to call me about any piece of that agreement of sale, because it is 14 pages, I'm here to answer any question that you have. And we go from there.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I love how you both actually have those great key points of what you should actually be doing and looking for. And, you both actually come across as very professional. Which you are in this real estate business, in this real estate world. I love that.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Thank
what
you.
else would you add to all of this?
I would add that just keep going. If we lose an offer, let's just keep moving forward. Let's look at another house. It will come with time. When the right one is supposed to happen, it will happen. And just to keep motivation and moving forward. And I will be here for that. And I will guide as much as possible and be your support system with anything you have during that process.
So if I was looking at buying a house today, but I was on the fence of whether or not it would be a good time to buy, what would you say to me?
Well, again, I think it comes down to what situation you're at with potentially your family, or if you're buying for just yourself at that time. And then it comes down to if you're actually in the position to where you could purchase a home financially, if it makes sense financially. And then really at the end of all of that, it comes down to the home. Is this the home that you can see yourself in? And are you going to be ecstatic if we put an offer in and we get accepted on our agreement? Are you going to be happy moving forward? We want people to be happy and comfortable with every decision that they make. So it's really just about having just a raw conversation with people. How do you feel? Let's talk a bit about finances. Let's talk about the home, the likes and dislikes. Let's just go through it. and just have a conversation.
I would say Lily and I are very anal about transactions because we want our clients to be as happy and as at peace as possible with a transaction. So we're very critical about what we go through the process of buying a home. With the fact of, if you want to buy a home, I say let's do it.
Yes.
Let's do what we need to do to get you into a home. The end game is to get you into a home.
Yes.
I will do whatever I need to do personally to get you into a home, and the jump is now. And let's do it.
Yeah, I just had this conversation with a family this past weekend, actually, that I spoke upon earlier, and I had to let them know that unfortunately we did not win a house that they really, really loved, and they were a bit, down on themselves in the moment, but you keep them engaged, and you just tell them, I'm still here for you, and I'm going to keep going. I just need you to keep going and trust in me, trust in the process. It will happen. I can't tell you a date that it will, but it will. I said that is what I'm here for. It will happen, so just stick with me. Keep your head up. Take a moment that you need to process this, but just keep going. Stay motivated. That is all I will say.
What I've noticed is there are people who have actually looked for anywhere between 6 months to a year and a half in this market to actually find the right place. And you're right, the fact that they continue to go through with the process and that they had someone who was actually able to keep them engaged and be there by their side and be able to actually continue to show them the properties, either whether they were just sending out listings to them, or keeping them motivated. It's always a good thing. And it sounds like you were both actually doing an amazing job at getting and keeping people engaged.
It's
in the
very
process.
important to us to keep them engaged because it's a huge deal and it's not a light thing. And I don't want it to just be like a light thing. And we'll work with you as long as you need to get you into a home. And we'll stay motivated to get you into a home. We're therapists. At the end of the day, we do real estate and therapy at the same time.
And matchmaking.
Yes.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah.
I love that.
So it takes a special person to be a real estate agent. It really does. And also having key negotiating skills is very important as well. And just to always strategize and know the market is also very important.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's a lot that happens on the back end that maybe people don't always think about, but we're always making calls for people. We're always trying to find the best deal. We spend a lot of time on our computer and on our phones trying to get the best information for people that we can to help them out and help us out. So it's very, very important to us.
And we do a lot of collaborating with our team.
Yes.
Our team provides great value with helping us where we're at today. Like Eric has provided tremendous support where I am today in my real estate career. I've closed 8 transactions since I've been licensed, and he has helped a lot with that and being there on the phone for hours talking about how can we make this work, what can we do to see if we can make it just
better,
solid.
just better
And
ourselves.
if we have to do an extension on a home, and he's a great team leader, and I pride myself with who I am with him.
Yeah, both him and Eric and Sam and all of our team members. I mean, we have a group chat that we just, if anybody has a question or a comment or just wants to say, hey, this happened with me today, so you know that maybe if it ever comes up with you, this is how I went about things. It's just the support and the guidance is always there.
And that's what agents need. Just needs that mentorship as well, because we go through different situations every day. Our daily lives are not the same every day with a transaction. They're always different. So having people more experienced in the field and being able to talk about scenarios and how to work through them professionally and safely and not leading to mitigation in the real estate world is what we want to stay away from. So having that support is huge.
Yes, I would greatly agree with that.
I'm actually going to second that. I agree with you completely. Having somebody who actually knows the transaction. So it sounds to me as though even though you've been combined have 2 years experience, there's so much more experience with your team that actually backs you through everything that you need. So you're never alone.
Yeah.
And you always have experience. And worst case scenario, you have somebody that if you don't know the answer right there and then you could go to and then find out and get back to your clients and making that a seamless transaction for everybody.
Yep.
I love that.
And that's
Yeah.
why that's
That's
why we
the goal.
love the team that we're on, and we're very, very happy to be on the team that we're on.
Go team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love it. What advice would you give a new real estate agent, somebody who's actually trying to come into the business now?
I say speak with other realtors. I didn't have much guidance getting into the real estate world, but I researched information. I researched brokerages on what fits best for my lifestyle, and just make the jump. Maybe have a little bit of sitting income, but make the jump. If you're passionate about real estate, it's not just looking at a home. It's about taking care of people and providing value for people. And I love that. I get to do it every day and make people happy and smile. There is some downsides, but that's with every job. And make the jump and just go at it. You're an entrepreneur at the end of the day, and you're independent contractor. So chase your dream is what I would say to a real estate agent.
And just go out and meet people. I mean, the way that I can tell a bit about how I met with Galina. I was a new agent joining eXp Realty, and we have a workplace forum made up of all just eXp agents that you can message and speak with. And I had thrown a message out there saying, introducing myself. Hi, I'm Lily Kemmler. I'm a new agent to the area. I wanted to get to know some people, and I wanted to get some more experience and some, more knowledge. So I said, hey, if anybody has an open house that I might be able to help with. Now, Galina didn't have an open house, but she knew that I was in the area, so she reached out and said, hey, I'm also an agent in the Lehigh Valley. Would you like to grab coffee? And we did, and the rest is history. So just go out and meet people. I mean, put yourself in uncomfortable positions if you have to, if you're not maybe used to talking to, the person that might be next to you. Just go out and get yourself out there and just start somewhere. You never know where it could lead you. Yeah.
Well, ladies, I gotta say that even though I was unprepared today, and I mean that by, I've not done an interview where I have to keep going back and forth. This has been one of my favorites.
Oh, thank you.
I thank you both. And, there's so much that I have learned from you. And I hope to continue to grow. And I hope that this video actually helps new agents that are coming in know that there are other newer agents that are out there that are doing such a great job, and maybe you could all have that community where you could actually all learn from one another and grow together. And you are our future real estate agents.
Oh, thank you.
I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Appreciate that very much.
Thank you, George, for having us today. It's an honor to be here with First United and you with this podcast and just providing value for our clients and new agents in the field.
You're both amazing.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I wish you a great future in your real estate endeavors.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And thanks, everybody, for watching today. Hope you continue to grow with us as we continue to actually bring in new guests here at First United Land Transfer, Home Close USA. And we hope to see you again.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.